So we discussed about the basic data types already. So integer, float, boolean, and string. So out of these basic data types, we learned that strings behaves string have some speciality, because like it can be further divided into the characters, and the characters can be indexed. So these characters can be indexed in a positive, negative ways, starting from 0 to the length -1. The positive indexes are moving, and the negative indexes are starting from -1, the last character, to the first character. The negative indexes are moving. So it is basically the first character is negative length of the list, that is the index. So we learn about that, and you can see here the positive indexes move in 0, 1, 2, 3, the negative indexes -1. And since there are 25 characters including space, so the first will be -25. That means the length of this, if you measure the length of list, is 25. That is why you are getting -25 here, and the last index will be +24. So let's use the ideally. Okay, here I'm define this as a variable. Let's say string st equal this text, and so then I'm telling, right, I need st -1, so will be the last number, and st -25 will be the first, and so 0 will be the first, that is positive indexing, and similarly this should be 24, that is the last, so that is n. Right, the length of st is also 25, so that is the number of items in this. And we learn how to iterate through a list. So one is iterate through string. So for you can say item, or for I in st, and you can iterate through this. Let's say print I and end with space, and that will horizontally print the list. So if you need the vertical print, you can just print that without the end delimiter, then it will be printing downwards. So likewise, you can access the elements. That is one way of accessing the element. The second way of accessing the element is like, in the second way, you can use indexes. That I didn't explain that in the initial stage, but indexes can be used to access the elements like this. Like you can say, for example, for k in range. So you know what is the range, going up to length of the list st. So for k in range this, and you can just print k, that will be printing the index. So that will be printing the index 0 to 24. But if you need the item to be printed, so similarly you can use st, then within square brackets you can use this, and that will be printing the characters. And if you need that in horizontal way, still you can use that end delimiter as space, and you can see this, right? Since we have not tried this, shall we try this index-based printing quickly? Shall we try the index-based printing? Because we have tried this one, the item-based indexing, item-based printing. So this is actually the index-based printing. You can see this is how we print index-based. Please try this. Okay. So once you're done, please tell me, right? Okay, you're done. First of all, you have to define this list st, right? Otherwise it won't work. So you have to tell st equal maybe your name, st equal within quotation your name, then it will work, right? So you have to define the st variable. Otherwise, it won't work. Yeah, here, this
Yeah,
part is needed.
I already tried them.
Okay. So it's okay, no? Right? Shall I move to the next one?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So this one, have you like noted this one, like how to print using the indexes from index 0 to the end of this? And so yeah, moving like this. You can just call the index and print the number. Have you tried?
Yeah, I have.
Okay. So then, so horizontal one, that is not a big thing, like you know how to edit that, right? So and how can I print the reverse way? Reverse way printing, like you can start from -1 and move up to start from -1 and move up to length of let's say length of yeah, minus length of this, minus length of this, and then you can just move reverse step in. That means -1 by -1, that should reverse this. Only one character is missing, that is the last character. You know why? Because we have to give one more than the index. So here actually I have to make one here, and that, so because -25 will be the last character. But if I give -25 here, what will happen? The -25 if I give here, so it will go up to -24, and when it reach -25, it stops. Therefore, you have to give here 26, but the total figure is minus. Or another way of doing that, so you can just write that, and you can write this is minus. Then this is -25, -1 is -25, -1 is -26. This way you can print up to D, right? So it's reverse in the name. Just try that as well. Okay, one more thing, Minagas. Okay, can I know the exact time in USA this now? So now here the time is 8:38 a.m. in Sri Lanka. So what about USA?
So right now it's 10:09 p.m.
10:09, right? Okay. Okay, got it. So there's like 10-hour difference, right? 10 hour. Okay.
10 and a half.
Oh, 10 hour, right, okay. Yeah, 10 and a half. Finish.
Yeah.
Okay. So then let's try for the list. Let's try for the list. Similarly, so when you know how to access elements in string, so it's very easy. Similarly, you can access the list. So that is why I explained this string. And similarly, you can access this, what do you call, similarly, you can access list, right? So let's say there's a list and list of marks, and I'm going to enter some marks there. So let's say these are the marks. Yeah, I have some marks in this marks list. So similarly, that means if you want to access the marks item, so one thing that you can do for mark in marks. So this way you can print mark and end with maybe comma, space, something. And you can see it's printing the marks, all the items. And if I print marks 0, it's printing the 0th marks. And marks -1, it's printing the last mark. So similarly, a given index can be accessed. And let's give 3, and you can see the third mark. So 0, 1, 2, 3 is 67, that will be printed. And similarly, you can use this. So what you can use indexes to print marks. And if you can say case marks, so I'm printing the kth index starting from the 0. You can see out. So it's reaching the end of list. So length of str, I have given wrong thing. That's the reason. Length of mark should be given. length of marks should be given there. Then you can see it's 20. Okay. So you can access item by item, or you can access indexes and call the index in the list to get the item. This is how you do it, right? Tell me if you're done. Okay, so I'll give very small exercise. So you can see there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 marks. So let me append one more mark. So that can be done by marks dot append. I'm appending another mark. So that basically will add to the list. That special feature is there in the list. So then if I print this marks list, you can see the new item is appended altogether. Now, if I get the length of marks, you can see there are 10 items. Okay, I want you to find the total marks, means I want you to add all these marks and find the total, as well as the average. So once you find the total, you can divide it by 10 and find the average. So can you write code to find total marks and the average marks? Can you give a try? You can copy down this, try this. And so please always take screenshots, because like whatever the commands that you're trying in the shell, so will be erased when you close it, right? So therefore, each time when you are doing that, get a screenshot. Or what you can do is like whatever the videos that I'm recording here. So whatever the videos I'm recording here, I'm uploading it to my channel. You can browse the channel and access the video as well. So those are the options. Like if you want to check the video again, you can access that, right? So this can be done. So I'll show the channel. So you can go to YouTube. There, or you can Google it. Go to Google and type Dasun Nilanjana Sirimevan. And then search with learn ICT, and you will be getting the YouTube channel here. So this one or this one. So this is or in the YouTube, you can just go and search the same, and you'll be able to get that channel. And there are a lot of videos, and out of that you can, I think, easily search your videos. So I'll be putting that there. So you can just go and search that. ICT, and here it is, and you can see the channel there. So you can just browse and go there and access the video, right? So that is also possible. If you forgot something, so I can send you the link, but if you forgot something, like you can go and access that video back again. Anyways, please do this activity. Now what I need is, I need you to find the total and the average of the given marks. No need to write the same marks. You can write 10 elements in this list. So in these 10 elements, please add them together and find the total, and then so divide it by 10, or divide it by number of items, and also then you can find the items. Okay. If you're done, tell me. What I need to tell you here, this is also correct. So cannot say wrong. But what if there are 100 items?
Oh,
Right. Then you are in trouble, right? So simple thing is like you can use loop for this. You can use a loop. So this is correct. No, this is not incorrect. This is correct. The way that you have done, and yes, it's exactly the same idea. But the thing is like you better. Okay, let's say this is my list and marks. This is my marks list, and then so if I need to print this, like I can do something like this for mark in marks. So I can get the elements. So then what I can do, I can just add this total is initially, so I can say total is initially 0. You can say total equals total plus the mark, total plus the mark. And then finally you can print total is and the total. And then you can print the average is and total divided by length of marks, or you can manually divide it by 10, so whatever. But 10 is like 10 is a dependent factor. 10 is a dependent factor means in case if you have 100 items, 99 items, 5 items, 6 items, for any number of items, the length of marks is valid, because you don't need to count that separately. So because this function will automatically count the number, so it's valid for any given number of items. It's valid for any given number of items. But the thing is like if you fix it to 10, it's valid only for 10 items. Therefore, it's always advisable to use variables or functions rather than just using solid values or literals. Right here, I'm adding the total is 0. I'm adding the item to the existing total, then finding the total as well as dividing it by the length and finding the average displayed back. So this is the code. So let me run this and say and you can get the total and the average. So it's okay, your code is okay, totally it's correct, cannot say wrong. But the thing is, for more convenient and more dynamic, so if you want to apply code in more convenient in dynamic way, convenient and dynamic way, so this is the recommended way, right? Because even you add another set, even you add another element to this marks. For an example, let's say marks dot append, I'm appending another marks. Let's say I'm appending 34, and I'm appending some other marks 45. I'm appending some other also. So likewise, if I append the marks, now you can see, so it has more items 34, and this more items are there. So in that case also, this total calculation and this average calculation is valid. For this also, the total calculation and the average calculation is valid. You can say total equals 0. So let me rewrite code using 1 by 1, and then the loop for calculating the total. No mistake there. Calculated the total, then we displaying this average and total. Let's display the average, display the total first. Here it is, and display the average. Now the divisor is 13, right? It's divisible by 13, it's not 10, because the number of items in marks is now 30. So the length of marks will be 30, total this 746 will be divided by 30. That is how you got the 57.38 as the average. Similarly, you can remove from the list. So marks that remove. So similarly, how you appended, similarly, you can remove the item. To do that, you have to give the value. Let's say you want to remove 23 from the list, and you can just call that and will be removed. Let's say you want to remove some other number, 35. So 35, yeah, it's there. It will be removed. So let's remove 45 now. So let's remove 45, this one. So here it's removed. So, but if I print that, you can see 45 is still there. So why is that? 45 is still there. 45 is still there. But I have removed that. So you can see already 23 removed, 35 removed. It's not more. But 45 is there. Any reason that you see?
I'm not sure.
So
Why would it?
just see 23,
Oh,
45,
there's
63.
there's
These are the
two.
items. So when I
Yeah.
say remove 23, it will just remove. So remove
So
33 will be removed.
so if
40.
there's two,
Yeah, there are two. There are two.
so if there's two, it'll only remove the first one.
Yeah, only remove the first one since there are two. So you have to remove that again because it will remove only one item at a time. That's correct. Removing only one item at a time. If there are multiple items, you have to call this multiple times because duplicates are acceptable in the lists. Duplicates are acceptable. There's another data structure called set. In sets, duplicates are not acceptable, but here in this, duplicates are acceptable. Therefore, so it will be removed, but only one will be removed. The remaining 45, so the remaining duplicates will be kept in the list. So if you can recall that, yes, you can remove it. So appending and removing are the functions. Appending, removing are the functions applicable for lists. Length is also a function where you can calculate the length of the list. So these are the functions associated with lists. So just give a try. Just try it out and try to find the total and average even after the appending. And now I'll show you a special case. So after trying, please let me know. I'll show you special case where how we can convert string to a list.
Okay, I'm done.
Right, let's see how can we divide how can we convert. So for an example, let's say you have something like this name as for the early example name. So this times my name, so like we did this last day. I'm writing my name there, and let's say I want this to be converted into a list. So it's very simple. I can say this, okay, a name list NL equal name dot split. That will convert this to a list. So NL will be this. Now you can see all three names divided. The default delimiter is space. Using space, this is divided to three names. Now it's very, very easy. So I can call the name list 0th item, that is my first name. Name list, first item, that is my second name, and name list, third item is my second item is my last name. Or you can reverse calling. If you want the last name only, you can just call -1. So that is the last name. Right now, how simple to get the initials this way? You can count the length of name list to verify that there are three names. So this will verify there are three names. Then you can get the first two initials. How? The first two initials can be taken by NL, the 0th list, 0th item, 0th character. 0th item, 0th character, that is D. Because you know, inside the name list, there is a string. So in that string, you can get the 0th character again. So 00 is D. And this is 0, then you have, if you call 10, it is the second initial. And so you know the third name is, it's -3. Sorry, -1. Sorry, -1. It's the third name. So this way you can just call first dot is added, and then on this one get the second initial, a dot is added. So see how easy the calculation is now. And then you can call NL -1, which is the last name. If there are three names, so this is the way that you can get name with initials. SSD and Sirimevan, so name with initials. Can you rewrite the program using the split command? Split command will divide this using the default delimiter space. Space again, default delimiter space. But you can give a delimiter, right? Make delimiter, then you can give a delimiter inside that. And so by giving that, you can give comma as a delimiter. You can give maybe so whatever the middle character or new line as a delimiter. Tab as a delimiter, dash as a delimiter, colon as a delimiter. So you can give anything like that you think which is inside, that you see which is inside this string, you can give as a delimiter. Then that will be separated using that particular delimiter. After that, so you can see a list with 1, 2, 3 items. So that list you can call the 0th item, and 0th item, 0th character is D. This first item, 0th character is N. Then the third item. So you can call this another way. If you are using positive indexes, 0, 1, 2. 2 is the positive index. That is also D and Sirimevan. So either way, you can get the full name with initials when you provide full name. So shall we try this as a program, not as a shell command? So can you try that as a program? So the similarly, you can remember how we got inputs last day, input the name, full name, and after that, the result should be name with initials. Now, actually, you have to practice this. Now, you will get a lot of exercises practicing, because now you are familiar with the language. So only thing remaining is practicing. So that is the difficult part, I know. thinking, applying is quite difficult, but you have to train your brain. So once you train your brain, so thinking will be automated. You can automatically, the audience will be automatically come to your head. You know what? So I was working as a software developer way back in 2009. So that is like more than 10 years ago. I was working as a developer there. So I used to travel by train. When I was traveling by train, so I was really tired. So after working, then the train is crowded because I'm getting the train in the middle, not at the fort. So I'm like getting to the middle, maybe some substation. Then the thing is like it's really crowded. I'm really tired. But when I'm traveling, even I feel sleep. So even in that moment, I can feel the codings, errors, bugs. So those are the things I saw in dreams, right? When I was traveling, even I was because when you practice this, it will automatically come to your head. It's like addiction, right? But I don't want you to addict to coding. So that is not what I need. But I need you to automatically think. So that automation will come with a lot of practices. So do this and try this, then you can apply this anyway. Just take some time, doesn't matter, but practice it. I need to input the name and get the name with initials. Right.
So I came.
This meeting is being recorded.
You have taken the input, enter your name. That is correct. So then name is splitted. That is also correct. For len, no, len is what? Len is something that you are going to measure. That is a keyword. You can't use that as a variable. So you can just use for maybe item or something, or letter in name. Okay, for K in name. Right. So that is okay in name actually. So you have two variables using name. So that is definitely confusing. The first thing is name. The second thing is list. You have to rename something.
Just
name too. So use a recognizable name. So better like if you use name and name list, something like this. Name. Then the second line has error. So you have name.
Name one.
Yeah, it should be name one dot split. For K in name two. Right, you are okay. Initials, you have to define that earlier because initials is a variable that you need to define earlier. So let's say, go to the third line, please. Third line. Third line. Yeah, third line. Yeah, you have to go to the second line and press enter. Second line, press enter. All right, then you have to say initials equal empty quotation. So you have nothing at this. Empty quotation, not the brackets, double quotation. Open and close.
Double quotation?
Just open and close. Yeah. Open the double quotation, close it. No.
Quotation? Okay. Sorry.
Okay. That is right. Then, right. Okay, in name, the initials can be counted if this if command is not needed because like that is not the thing, no? So that if you have to cancel the fifth line, if that is not needed, you can just collect fifth line. If name is equal to something, that is not needed. Okay. Right. Then initials equal names. Actually, you are getting this K. K is the item, no? Then you have to say K0, right? K is the item, no? K is the item. The kth item, 0 is the index. And then you are adding dot as well. Right, okay. So shall we run this code now? For the moment, just run it and let's see what will happen when you run the code. Okay, first you have to enter the full name. You can see M MD. Yeah, it's added. So only thing is like when you're printing this, it comes downwards. No, that happens. And MD. Yeah, that happens. That doesn't matter. So you can indent, re-indent, de-indent that print. Print can be yes. Print can be excluded from the for loop. Print can be excluded from the for loop. So the last line, the print line, can be excluded. To exclude, no, don't. Right, that is also okay. Right, okay. Paste it, paste it, paste it. But paste it in the beginning of the line. Don't keep space. Don't keep space. Paste it. No, not there. The last line. Go to the last line, please. So how to exclude from the list? Remove the indentation. Remove the indentation. That is not needed. Right now you can print. Okay. Otherwise you are printing in each step. No? So now we are printing at the end. Okay. Printing initials. Initials equal initials plus the existing initials plus. You have to tell initials equal initials plus K0, right? Otherwise it will be not added to the same initials. So you have to add initials plus initials equal initials plus the K0 and the dot. Okay, now try. So this way you have to, right? This way you have to. Okay. Now you can see MD has come, but this D is not needed, right? You know, the D is not needed. Why? Because you know that is the last. That is the last name, so you can exclude that. To do that, you can use a if statement, right? Yeah, press enter there and put if this. So how to check whether it's a last item? Right? How to check whether it's a last item? I think you can use the indexes here, right? Indexing is better. No, not that index, not that one. So not the word index, but here you have used the item-based list, no? The item-based repetition. So let me show what I'm going to mean by this. Okay, let's assign this to a function def tell name is my function. In this function, the first thing, as you did, the first thing is to collect the name. Input, enter your full name. I'm getting the name. That is the first thing that I should do. And after that, I'm having a name list. That also you did. So that is name.split. So that will give you the name list, and you can then say for K in range. I'm telling index base. So I'm not telling K in name list, but I'm telling K in range length of name list. This is a bit longer, but this way you can get the last item. Right, last item excluded. So last item excluded. How can I exclude the last item? I'm telling length of the name list -1. I'm not going to the last item. I'm getting the name length of the name list -1. Okay, let me print this K to show you. So what will happen? So let me run this, and I'm calling the tell name function. Tell name function. So then it's asking my name. Dasun Nilanjana. Giving my name. You can see 0 and 1. Only 2 items are there. That those items are 0 and 1. The reason is, you know, I'm writing here length -1, but if I write length here, so then what will happen? It will go up to the second name, tell name, and you can see when I paste this, it's going printing 0, 1, 2 both, right? But 2 I don't need for the initials. I only need 1. Therefore, I'm reducing 1 from this and printing the K. But instead of printing the K, I'm just printing name list K. So you know the index base. So there are 2 ways to access a list or string. Minaga, I hope it is clear to you, right? Is it clear to you? Right? You can access K in range, that is index base, but K in name list, that is item base. right? So can you understand the difference between either you can access the item directly, or you can access the index. Through the index, you can access the item.
Yeah.
Okay. And then nameless K, if I'm printing like this, let me run this again one more time, and I'm going to call tell name, and this time I'm telling the name. So when I tell this name, so you can see it's Dasun and Nilanjana. So those are taken. But I don't need actually the full, I need the 0th item only. So in this, I need the 0th item. So plus I need a dot also, right? And I need to end this with nothing, no space, maybe. End with, end with space, let's say. And let me call the tell name function again, and you can see all in this. And you can see d dot n dot space and all this. Now, so what do you need at the end? At the end of loop, you need the last name. So that can be added. You know how to access the last name, right? You can print name list. So one way is you can do -1. -1 for sure, it's the last item. Right? So let me run this again one more time, and I'm telling name, and this time I'm telling this name. And you can see when I write like this and says the and Sirimevan we have that's obtained. So let's give your name. So what's your this one? You can say this one. It has come. So but like you can, if you tell okay, let's say something like this, a bigger name, you can say BASK. So this is the function, right? This is the function. So the upper part is like some other thing, add in items. This is not related to this code, but I just brought the code in the same file. So you can say generate the full name. Right? Did you understand now?
Yeah, I understand.
Playing with these indexes, getting the items, extracting lists, and dividing it to list and accessing items. So this way you don't want bigger calculations, because you have initially divided that to the list and all the names are now in the list. After that, what you can do is you can get these initials by calling the 0th letter of the particular item. So K is changing, right? K is 0th item, first item, second item, like us here. 0th item, first item, second item, third item, fourth item. If I get a length of this name list, not sure, name list is outside. The name list is outside the function. Therefore, I cannot get that. But if I get the length of this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is the 0th item, first item, second item, third item, fourth item. It's going up to 4 and printing 0th item, getting 0th item, first item, second item, and third 0, 1, 2, 3. And out of that, from that, it's getting the initial letter 0, 0, 1, 0, then 2, 0, and 3, 0. It's getting like that, and adding dot as well as not ending. It's going right in the same line. The last one is accessing the last item, which is this one. This one is the 4th item. Or you can just call -1. That is for sure -1. For any name, in any name, the last item is -1. The last item. So I'm adding that last item finally to the list and print it. So this will give a similar result like we did in the strings. So one thing can be done many ways. So when you learn coding, when it becomes little by little, it will become complex, I know. But you have to practice very well. So this is where your practicing is needed. Otherwise, when this become complex, you will fed up coding. So if you want not to happen such thing, so what you need to do, practice daily. Whatever the codes that we learn, practice daily, understand. Until you understand, ask questions. You can ask from me. Right? Until you properly understand what is this. Why didn't I use K in name list? I could use K in name list, but then it's very difficult to get the index. I need the number, because through the number only I'm getting the item. So if I get K in, so okay, let's try the other thing also. So just to show what will be there. So if I write here K in name list directly, I'm getting K in name list. I'm not calling the index this time. The K in name list. And then I'm getting the name list. So you know, K is item now. K is item. I can say K0. K0 and dot will be the initial. And the name list last item can be added to that. Tell name 2, right? This is the tell name 2 function. Let me run this and show you what is the result. So tell name 1 function or tell name function will ask my name. So let's give a longer name and print in this. And tell name 1 function or tell name 2 function is getting the same input, but the output is different. So you can say it's giving additional R. Why? Because we cannot limit this. It's going up to the last item. Because here I have removed 1 index, but here I don't have way to remove 1 index. Oh, what I have to do? So I can purposely remove these 2 items from the exclude these 2 items once this is counted. Okay, let me count this to initial variable initials. Initials are blank, right? Initials are blank. Later I'm changing this to initials equal initials plus K0 and dot. So this way I'm adding the initials. And when I print this, I'm printing initials, but I'm excluding from the beginning, I'm excluding 2 items from the end. I'm excluding 2 items and adding this to the last item of the name list. This way I can write the second loop. Right, let's call the tell name this time. So this is the name. The first one will work without any trouble. The second thing has the problem when I call the second tell name. So let's print that, and you can see it's giving BASK Ratnasiri. Now no errors. Space can be added, right? Space can be added to this, because here I'm using space, but here I'm not using. Therefore I can add space to make the same. So now both functions run similarly, because I have purposely removed 2 items from the end. These 2 items I have removed and then added to the last thing, because I cannot limit the loop. Loop will go through the entire list. When I call K in name list, it will go through the entire list. But if I tell K in range length of name list -1, the last item will be excluded. Did you understand? Hello.
Yeah, I understand.
Right. So what do you think about coding now? So is it like easy, difficult, interesting, boring?
It's difficult.
It's difficult. Is it boring?
No, it's not boring. It's really difficult though.
It's difficult. Only thing is like you have to think, right? So that is the thing. Here's one R is added. So you have to be very careful. One, because the space is there, then space is also there. You have to remove 3 characters. So we have to be really careful, right? That is why R has come. You can see here R Ratnasiri. It has double R. The reason is I have added space now. Yeah, I have added space. That space and this dot, right? That is the reason. This space, you can see this space, this dot, this R. All 3 I have excluded. So it's really tricky, right? It's really tricky. I know I cannot say it's difficult, but I can say it's really tricky. You have to like wash your brain and get it back. Like it's like refreshing your brain time to time. These are brain exercises, right? These are kind of brain exercises. Now you can see both function return the same results. Okay. So copy this down and I'll stop from here, right? So please take a screenshot. I'll stop from here. Then let's see you in next week. Right. Goodbye. Bye.